Hello, welcome to Tim Anderson Horse Training. Today we're going to be working with Praise. He just came in yesterday. This is the first time I've worked with him. Praise is a 6-year-old gelding, off-track thoroughbred. He recently was just purchased by some new owners, and the owner said that he had bid him. So that's one thing we need to watch for in our evaluation. Our first ride today, I kind of see what I got and see what we need to do with them. So we need to watch for him biting. We need to see how he rides, if he rides. Really have no idea. Don't know if he's ever had a western saddle on him or not. We're going to find out in a few minutes. Find out how broke he is, if he bucks, if he has any steer or not. I really don't know. I do know he was raced. I don't believe he was raced a lot. He bowed a tendon. I can see on this front left, I can see the bow tendon there, so that's something we're going to need to be aware of and watch for. And just evaluate him and see what we got and see where we need to go and see what I need to work on and see if I can make him appropriate for this family. So I'm going to start by just kind of brushing him. He just came in yesterday. This is the first time I've handled him. Hasn't been bad so far. And we'll just see what we see. He walked into my wash rack good. A lot of times horses are a little worried about walking in here for the first time. But he walked in here fine. Didn't seem overly scared. He was observant and looking around, but didn't seem overly scared. Now I'll pick out his feet, see how he does there. I'm going to shift his weight around. I'm going to start with this front one, and I want to get his weight a little bit easier for him to pick this one up. So I'm going to bring the front one back a little bit. Get that front one under him a little bit. There we go. Now it'll be easier for him to pick this one up. This foot don't look too bad. Since he bit, I'm definitely going to be aware of that. Push your head back around. There we go. And I saw the teeth marks on the owner. It wasn't just a little love tap. It was a pretty serious bite. That foot looks pretty good. Really pretty nice foot for a thoroughbred. Pretty big. Do see a lot of swelling here. That's the bow tendon. I'll step him up forward for me to do that back foot. Come on. Come on. Come on, one step. Come on, one step. There we go. Good boy. A lot of this little stuff, like moving him around in the stall, really tells me a lot about his personality. Tells me if he's going to be willing to be moved around. Not holding that foot up there is good. I'll work on that later. Tells me I need to work on his back feet. I'm not going to get into a wrestling match right now holding that foot up. I know he pulled it back from me. He kind of won that one. But I can set myself up in a better situation later so that I'll win. He's going to be about the same way with this one. I'll work those later. See how this front one goes. Oh, that one wasn't too bad. So I'll take note. I'll need to work the back feet. That's something I'll show you later, what I do with that. The condition of his feet is actually pretty good. He's had it trimmed recently, so the farrier was able to get him trimmed. I don't know if he sedated him or not. I have no idea, but I would definitely like to get the back feet better so that the owners will have an easy time cleaning his feet out. I noticed his back feet, he stood up a good bit. Not too crazy about those angles, but also if the farrier had to fight with him to get the back feet done, the farrier's not going to do as good a job as he would be able to otherwise. So that's another reason I need to get those back feet better. So we'll work on that. Something to put on our list that needs to be improved. And I'm not going to saddle him here. I do not know if he's ever had a Western saddle on or not. It's a good bit bigger and heavier than a jockey saddle. So I'm going to saddle him in a round pen like a baby that had never been saddled before. I'll see how he saddled and we'll go from there. So let's go out in a round pen. So what I call my round pen isn't really a round pen. It's a 60 by 80 oval. A little bit big for starting babies, but it's good for this kind of stuff. Now if you notice leading out here, he don't lead the greatest. He's not the worst at it, but he's not the best. So that's something else that we need to put on our list. He hasn't pushed into me or done anything super bad. Just not really very willingly being led. So we're going to start by bridling. I'm going to put just a plain ring snaffle on. He should have had one of these on when he was in race training, or they may have raced him in it, I don't know. But this is what we're going to start with. He has kind of a long head, so I'm going to make it a little bit longer, let it out a little bit. Might need to take it back in after I get it on him, we'll see. So, let's see how easily he bridles. Got his teeth clamped shut. Put his head up, but he brought it right back down when I put a little pressure on the pole. Not going to force the bit in. I'm going to keep it right here where his teeth meet. Move it just a little bit. There we go. Needs to be easier, but definitely wasn't too bad. I think as far as bridling, if he's just bridled correctly, I think that's going to work itself out. Definitely knows what the bit is, for sure. I notice he has a pretty deep mouth. I don't know if you can see that. His mouth is pretty deep. And looking at his teeth, he does have a wolf tooth that's sitting right in front of the bit. Maybe a half an inch. There's no wolf tooth on this side, just one on the right. That's something that probably needs to be addressed because it is very close to that bit. I'll try to get you a close-up of that at some point. All right, Let's throw the pad up there in the saddle and see what happens. See his head go up, but his ears went forward, not back on me. That's a little bit of a red flag to me. That tells me that he's not worried about what I'm doing. He's comfortable enough that his ears aren't back. He's gonna kind of ignore it. But it also tells me he's not totally accepting it either. If he was accepting it, he'd be a little bit more attentive to it. Now his ears are back a little bit. A little bit better. Throw my saddle up there and see what happens. Not going to take any great cares. If there's a problem, I want to see what the problem is. He has a nice deep heart girth. Move your feet over here. There we go. Not bad so far. He's looking around. He has never been out here, so that's why he's looking around, taking it all in. So I don't mind that he's looking around. He doesn't act overly scared of anything, which is good. Saddle's not very tight. It's just snug enough so it ain't gonna fall off. Let's move his feet a little bit. Then I'll snug it up another hole. There we go. Saddling actually wasn't bad at all.